Across the years of me unboxing chairs, folks in the comments have said that my sitting posture is not so good. So today, we're gonna be bringing in a doctor to tell me how good my seating posture really is. And the chair that we're gonna be doing that with is the Razer Iskur V2, which I have here. We unboxed the first one on this channel a couple years ago. I enjoyed it. Let's take a look. I'm actually daily driving a Razer chair right now, the Fujin Pro that we unboxed the last video on this channel. But what's really cool about the Iskur, and something I haven't really seen since I did that video, is their lumbar support system, which they've improved for this model. So I'm really excited to see what they've got. Maybe I'll have to switch my chair out again. I don't know. We'll see. This is pretty standard compared to the Fujin Pro and the other Razer chairs that we've unboxed. What I enjoy is that they have the gauntlets. Don't shoot from your chair, no rockets, don't surf it, don't sit on somebody sitting on the chair. It is time to take your throne. Flip the sheet to see the assembly guide or check out the video. Got what's inside. Assembly, looks good, looks clear. Let's see if I can do it. All right, everybody's got to stay organized. We got our instructions there. We're gonna put our pieces in nice little order so we don't get confused and then build this thing. Backrest, head pillow. Hey, these are flat, that's different. I don't believe this was flat before on the old model. Accessories. Oh my God, that's heavy. The instructions want you to play co-op, but I'm more of a single player gamer myself, so we're building this thing solo. Accessories. Open here. There we go. One of the things that I've liked about building Razer chairs recently is that some of the screws that you need are pre-installed, so there's just less that you have to deal with. Okay, instructions. Number one, put the casters on the base. Put this part, goes in there, okay? Number two, this, like this. Number three, this is what I mean about the screws being pre-installed, which is great. They're already right here for you, waiting. We need to loosen them. These gloves look cool and I feel protected, but I don't have a lot of grip, so it's a little bit harder to unscrew these screws. So we're facing that way. Goes like this. Screw everything back in. Step 3, I loosened. Step 4, I tightened. This is on. Step 5 is now to attach this to this. I don't play co-op. Woo! Is that actually on there? It's sturdy. And we loosen these. Same thing on the other side. Next step is putting the backrest onto the base of the chair. Let's do it. Line these guys up. Something that's kind of neat is they've actually got a guide on the one side. So not all chairs have this. Sometimes I struggle actually lining them up, but it just slots in on the other side, which lines up this side. Makes it really easy to install. It's great that Razer includes a screwdriver, but I'm gonna use the lttstore.com screwdriver. Last thing we wanna do is just put on these covers to where we were just screwing in everything. Then we're basically done. Beautiful, nice and clean. So clean! And we're done, and I'm ready to talk to the doc right after I tell you about today's sponsor. Thanks to War Thunder for sponsoring today's video. War Thunder is a free-to-play, comprehensive vehicular combat game. There's an arsenal of over 2,500 different vehicles for you to pilot. War Thunder is about the details, like how it feels to drive your war machine, the sound it makes, and how they fall apart as you defeat your enemies. Their signature X-ray damage system lets you see how the vehicle falls apart and exactly where a vehicle's hit, so you can strategize for the next battle. Join over 70 million people across the world on PCs and consoles with crossplay at the link in the video description. Doctor, welcome.
Thanks for having me. I'm Dr. Matthew Hwu. I'm a physical therapist and I've also been in gaming for the past 8 years. So part of what we do is make sure that the players and pros that we work with stay healthy and be at their best, and looking at your posture and your ergonomics is a part of that.
People in our comments say that my posture is not very good sometimes, so I really need your help.
First, do you have any aches and pains?
I do not have any aches and pains.
So to the best of your ability, set up at whichever posture you want me to assess, whether it be gaming or work.
Let's start with controller, because I've got a controller in hand right now.
Yeah, just assume that natural position. And what I like to look at to start is actually starting from the very bottom. And are your feet supported? Boom. Yes, they are. Very nice. And I want to be able to determine the chair height. If I were there, I would actually kind of like look at your leg length, because that can tell us, sort of agnostic of whatever chair we're using, what the chair height should be at, to make sure that our thighs are parallel with the ground, right? And so yours actually seems a bit higher. So lower it a little bit so that your thighs become parallel with the ground. And that's just to avoid too much pressure here at the end of your thigh, distal thigh, and then, or too much pressure here at your butt, right? Like if it's too high, you'll put too much pressure there, which can limit blood going back up to your heart or to your brain or everywhere else. And that can make you tired. So good. So that looks good. And you lean back. So this is definitely good to know. That's the next part I look at, which is the backrest and lumbar support. With you there, I see you're obviously a little bit rounded. And that's actually okay, right? It's okay for us to sometimes be in these postures. But if I wanted to really be nitpicky and say, hey, like let's get optimal biomechanics, in an ideal world, you'd be sitting upright. So start by sitting as upright as possible. And then, let's say you weren't doing this console. Where would you set this lumbar support? What height would you set it at?
It's a great question. I have to think about that.
I think a lot of people are lost, right? When they're like, oh, where should I even put it? Probably the most common is like, oh, let me just kind of put it where the arch of my back is. That's not a bad start, but there's actually a place where you can put it that makes it feel easier to sit upright. Right below my lower back, like the small of my back. Yeah. Think about like at the top of my pelvis. Yeah. You want the lumbar support to be there because it's essentially keeping you upright by maintaining that pressure there. So because you actually like leaning back, what I like to do is make sure that the lumbar support is set inward, right? So that it doesn't put too much pressure on your lower back.
Can you see how far it's coming out right now? I don't know if you can capture that, Andy, but it's out there.
Yeah, and so what's cool about having that ability to protrude out is if you lean back into it, it's gonna feel a little bit uncomfortable over time, but it actually can serve as a reminder for you to move more. And they've actually shown in research that the people, maybe there's people in your office that kind of fidget a lot and move, those people tend to have a lower risk of developing lower back issues because they're moving more. They have more frequent postural shifts. So you can actually use it as a tool to say, wow, I know I'm gonna game for the next 2.5 hours. Let me set it out a bit more so that I can just move more, remind myself to move more.
Interesting. So you're saying, even if I'm not going to get out of my chair and move, moving within the chair in different postures is actually good for you.
Yes, exactly. Now let's look at the armrest, right? And so this one, a lot of people always get really confused on where they should actually set it up. You actually have a pretty decent setup right now. So what I like to do is help you understand where your shoulders naturally rest. So sit all the way up like this, then you shrug your shoulders all the way up, and then just let it naturally fall. And that's actually the resting position of where your shoulders are gonna be. However, because you lean back slightly, that also changes, right? So then you can kind of fall into that natural position where you kind of roll back, and same thing, shrug and then let it fall. And if it's coming into contact a bit sooner, just lower it a little bit because you don't want your shoulders slightly elevated.
Yeah, that makes sense. I'm kind of a gremlin gamer. I think I usually have my shoulders up. I'm like...
It can lead to problems, but you don't even have pain, right? It doesn't mean that it's going to lead to a problem for everyone. If you want to use the neck cervical support, you can, but it's not really that necessary for most, right? If you lean back like you do, it can be helpful for you because it's going to naturally fill up that space that will be there. So that's going to be a nice addition for most people that like leaning back. But hey, when you're at work, you're probably not even using it. You're probably like this, right? Do you want to check out your PC setup real quick?
Let's do it real quick. All right. Does this desk adjust? Yeah, hold on. I'm a short boy. I got to lower the desk. What do you mean it only goes up?
You're too short.
I'm too short for this desk? Are you serious?
That's a minimum height.
Bro.
This is actually a really super good example, right? Bring it up so the armrests are level with the desk.
But then my feet aren't gonna touch the ground.
Exactly. Dude, I'm short too. I have a footrest. The main and big picture thing here is if you're moving a lot and you're getting up and taking breaks every hour, you don't have to change postures and positions. I guess if there's one thing to remember, we always just say, your best posture is your next posture. So just keep moving.
Well, thank you very much for your time, Doctor. We'll chat soon. Before we bring a few more people on, let's just talk about some of the adjustability features that this chair has before we get to that. The first thing would be the 4D adjustable armrests. We go up and down. We go forward, backward. We can swivel, and we can go side to side for 4 dimensions. We've got 152 degrees of leaning back. And we've got a memory foam pillow, which I don't mind. It's fine. I'm not a big head pillow guy. Chair's rated for up to 300 pounds and up to 200 centimeters tall. which I am not, I am short. They have a leather and a fabric variant of the chair. We're sitting in the leather chair, which has a different type of leather on this one compared to the V1, and it's rated to be softer. And then the last and most important thing of this chair, and the thing that I like the most about the Iskur V1 that has been approved, is the lumbar support system. So both of these knobs will control the support system, and what's really cool is it goes in and out, it goes up and down, and it goes side to side, which is really cool. So like as I'm moving, it is still against my back and it feels firm and it feels good. So if I'm sitting cross leg, I'm leaning like this, I've got back support. If I'm going like this and I'm talking to the couch, which I like to talk to couches, I guess, I don't know, still supported. This chair, whether you get the synthetic leather variant or you get the fabric variant, $649 US, and it comes with a 3-year warranty or a 5-year warranty if you sign on for their extended warranty program. Now that I'm the doctor, we're gonna bring a few people on. I'm gonna roast their postures. Most doctors have 4 to 8 years of training. I've had about 4 to 8 minutes, so this ought to be good. Sven is our first victim or patient. I mean, I heard that you were chosen because you have the worst posture, and Belle told you to come down here.
Yeah, that's exactly true.
Why? Why do you have bad posture? What's wrong?
I don't know, it's probably hunched over like this, is how I usually sit.
All right, so
neck far forward, you know?
just show me how you play Counter-Strike. How do you sit when you play Counter-Strike?
I mean,
You're tall, you probably don't need the Apple box, right?
no.
All right, dude. All right, let's take this Apple box. Get out of here. This is for short people, like me. All right, how are we sitting here? You need some, you typically sit back? Do you sit in the chair when you game?
I try more to, but as soon as I start gaming, I start slowly leaning forward.
Start leaning forward. So I've been told that you don't need this. You don't need this pillow. It's gone. Well, no, you don't have to sit like that. You don't have to sit like that.
That feels terrible.
I mean, basically, if you're sitting forward, you don't need the neck pillow. That makes complete sense. So, okay, we start with the feet. Feet are on the ground. He's tall. His legs are pretty close to perpendicular.
Really?
I mean, should we lower that chair a little bit? I don't know. We could probably lower the chair a little bit. Let's lower this a little bit.
Oh my God.
Next up is the lumbar support system. So right now, how does it feel on your back?
Feels very nice. Very supported.
Very supportive. Is this better or worse?
Terrible. I like a lot of lumbar support.
Okay, so basically, if you're leaning forward a lot, you should have it further out so that it kind of corrects your back posture as you're leaning forward. It makes it harder for you to sit terribly.
Okay.
The other thing I got told, and actually before I tell you, I need to ask you, how much do you move in the chair when you're sitting in the gaming? Are you do you just lock and load and just go, or are you like different postures?
I'd say I move around. I really like the 1 foot over, or I'll do the cross-legged too, you know?
I got told that moving's good.
Really?
I know, I'm surprised. Moving's healthy.
Really? Because when I sit like this for a prolonged period of time, it hurts.
Wait, hold on. You're sitting like that for how long?
2-3 hours.
Oh, that's
maybe.
bad. No, you're supposed to move like every hour. That's
yeah,
bad.
I don't do that.
Okay, well, you'll be okay. You're young. Do you have any back problems?
Slightly.
Oh, we didn't cover that in training. Last thing, Sven, is raise your shoulders up. Drop your shoulders, and where your elbows land is where your arm rest should be. Right? So your arm rest should be higher.
So like,
does that feel good or bad?
I don't like armrests.
Well,
at the chair I have at my house, I took the armrest off.
We didn't cover that in training. Anyways, do you like the chair?
It's better than most gaming chairs I've sat in. Like, yeah, it's okay.
Next, our next victim, patient, is Hoffman. Hoffman, take a seat, dude. Take a seat. How's your posture?
Amazing.
Do you have any back pain?
Sometimes, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
We'll try to fix that.
Oh, does it cure my back pain?
The chair?
Yeah.
It could if you sit right. Sit how you would when you're editing. Stop.
I think Belle found me like this.
Stop. Is that how you? Wow. This is. I don't know a lot, but I don't know if this is great. Okay. Wow. Okay. First off.
Yeah.
Your feet and your legs, maybe that's fine. It's almost perpendicular.
It is fine. Like, look, my hand is straight.
It is fine. He's telling me how to do my job. All right, that's fine. Okay, lumbar.
Yeah.
So you're leaning back. So it should be in a little bit more. Does that feel good or bad?
Worse.
Worse?
The other way had more support, I think.
More support, okay. You like that?
Does it go all the way
Bro,
up?
I don't even know what to do. You're so slouched, bro. I don't even know. I don't even know.
So this can't.
Oh, you need the head pillow. Hold
it
on.
can't cure my posture.
Hold on. All right. How's that feel? How's the head pillow?
It's all right. It's not
Good.
bad. It's
Okay, next thing, if that's how you sit,
kind of sleep on it.
your shoulders. Okay, Hoffman, can you raise your shoulders up like this and then drop them? And then where do your elbows hit? That's where your armrest should be.
Oh wow, you're like a magician. It's got to be lower.
Okay, well, let's lower them, dude.
A little bit higher.
Do you use the armrest? Can you adjust it? I can adjust it for you if you want, but
It's not bad.
I don't even know. Do you like the chair?
Oh, gaming chairs are kind of the same.
That's fine. That's okay. That's okay.
The hump feels very strong.
Likes the hump. Okay.
Yeah.
Is that a technical term?
You know, I kind of need a new chair. It's actually not bad. It's strong. It's like pushing me, but it's cushioned.
So that's it for me, Posture Potter. I like the chair. The lumbar support system is honestly my favorite out of any chair I've sat on. Even a lot of the ergo chairs that I've sat on, this is more supportive. But chairs are subjective, so I hope you learned a thing or two, and make sure to like the video if you liked it. Check out some of our other videos, and we'll see you on the next one. Bye.